Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make biscuits. Biscuits seem really hard to a lot of people. I know it was for me for a long time, but I have an easy recipe that you can follow. It's not hard, you just got to follow the steps and cook it at the right temperature. I'm going to show you everything that we need for biscuits today. We're going to make big, tall biscuits. All right, this is the ingredients you're going to need. 4 cups flour, 2 cups of buttermilk, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, and then a third of a cup of shortening. And I put a little bit over, it's not really 2/3 of a cup, so it's just like right over a third of a cup of shortening. And what you're going to do is, while the oven is preheating, you're going to grease whatever pan you're going to use. Cast iron works the best. Don't let anybody tell you any different. They're not hard to clean. Now, I didn't have any buttermilk, but I had regular milk. What you need to do to make your own buttermilk is to take 2 cups of regular milk and then 2 tablespoons of vinegar. You dump it in, you give it a little stir, and you let it sit for about 5 minutes. So we're letting that sit, and you can see it starting to like congeal at the top. So we're going to use this as our buttermilk. If you have self-rising flour, you don't need to put the baking powder or the salt in. That's just an extra step because I don't have any self-rising, but this is how you make it self-rising. But I'm going to mix the salt and the baking powder in, and I'm just going to whisk it up really good. And if you wanted to put this through a sieve and get all the chunks out. Sometimes my flour has little chunks in it. You can do that too. Just give it a really good stir. While we're waiting on that to do its work, we're going to create a crater here in the middle of it, okay? I'm going to push the sides. I have some at the bottom, just making a little divot for all of the buttermilk and the shortening. Now I'm going to take this shortening. I know a lot of people don't like to use shortening, but if you don't eat biscuits all the time, it's not going to kill you. It's not even any different than eating pounds of butter. So it's good. It's the best for biscuits. I've tried it with butter. They don't turn out the same, trust me. It's just better with shortening. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take little chunks and put it all over. Because what I'm going to do when I put in the buttermilk is I'm just going to basically squish these together and mix it with the flour and the buttermilk. I don't want one huge chunk. We want smaller pieces. That's why a lot of people use butter and cut it up into small pieces. It's just not the same. It's much better with shortening, trust me. So once they're all in little pieces, it's been about 5 minutes. Remember to have your oven preheated and ready. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly dump about half of this buttermilk in. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir, okay? Just going to stir it. And I'm going to slowly take the sides down. Okay? Now, when I get enough in the middle, I'm going to start squishing the shortening with my fingers. Okay? Breaking it up. Incorporating it with the flour. Take more from the side. I'm just going to stir. Okay? Start breaking it up. It's going to feel like a goopy mess, but that's okay. Keep stirring, taking down just a little bit more from the sides. Keep stirring. Now I'm going to put the rest of it in. Okay? Go back to stirring it. Taking just a little bit off the sides. Squish it with your fingers. Find the big chunks of shortening and squish it. Keep squishing it with your fingers. Take more down from the sides, and we're going to use all of this flour that's in here. We're going to incorporate it all, so just take a little bit at a time. Keep stirring. It's going to pull away from the sides, that's fine. Keep filling around. If you have any really big chunks of shortening, squish them with your fingers. Sometimes I'll find big chunks at the end. Okay, we'll start incorporating the rest of the flour. Ooh, shot it out there. I'm just going to keep stirring it like this with your fingers. See how it's starting to get like a sticky mass? Get all of it off the sides. Okay. So it's like it's pretty mixed pretty well. And we're going to stop right here. We're going to get a board and put a little bit of flour on it so we can turn this out onto there. Alright, so I put some flour on my cutting board. I use this for everything. Okay, and I put excess to the side. I'm going to scrape this out, okay? I'm going to use some of this flour just to incorporate it together. I'm barely going to roll it around, okay? I'm not going to knead it. We're not going to knead it or anything. Okay? All I'm doing is making sure it doesn't stick to the board anymore. So I have a little bit of extra flour. And I'm just going to, see? Now what I'm going to do, I have a rolling pin, and I'm just going to take some flour in my hand and cup it and roll it on this, and I'm going to roll this out lightly. You want them to be semi-big. You don't want squished biscuits. So I'm just going to roll it out just a little, okay? See how thick this is? Still pretty thick, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this gets a little messy, so forgive me. Every time I'm going to use a biscuit cutter. I bought these off Amazon. They're stainless steel. I love these. I'm going to dip it in flour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push it down, straight down. I'm not going to twist. I'm not going to work back and forth. Just push it straight down and lift up. See? See how it came out? And then I'm going to put it on my greased pan. And I'm going to keep going. Do the same thing. I dip it every time. Straight down. Don't twist. Don't do anything. See? Now, if you wanted these even thicker and you want them to be really, really high, you could leave it thicker than what I'm doing. That's preference. One more time. See? Push it down. Lift straight up. Don't turn it. You don't want to seal your edges. All right. I'm going to show you one more time up close. I dipped it. Straight down. Lift up. Okay. And keep going on the rest of this. Now when you have leftover dough, I just barely put it together and then I push it down. I'm not going to roll it out again, okay? I'm just going to barely push it down. And then I'm going to start cutting more biscuits, okay? All right, I have some left over, which I'm going to cook these first, and then when I take them out, I'm gonna cut some more out and put more in the oven. But you can see what they look like right now. Now we're gonna put it in a 500-degree oven we're gonna do 10 minutes, and we're gonna check on them. If they need more time, I'll leave them in longer, but for right now, 10 minutes. Okay, I left it in about 12 minutes, and you can see the biscuits. Now, if you want them taller, you just leave it thicker when you cut it. But these are a good size for my family, and they're gonna be delicious. Give it a couple minutes to calm down. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, that's hot. You see the steam coming off of that? Yum. Now, if you wanted to put melted butter over the top of these, that'd be fine too. Or you can just leave them like that. I have one I pulled out that I'm gonna eat. Some melted butter on there. Or put some jam. So remember, 12 minutes. It's not hard. Easy. Alright. It's easy, right, guys? They're really good. I ate my biscuit with the butter on it. It was delicious. If I made some gravy, that'd be even better. But try this recipe. It's not hard. Remember, don't overwork your dough because it will turn out like a brick and they won't be good. But these are light and fluffy and airy. Very good. It's not hard. Try it at home. Remember, if you have self-rising flour, you don't have to put in the baking powder or the salt. Now, if you don't have self-rising flour, you have to add those in, or else you're going to get little bricks too. So I hope you try this recipe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.